Welcome to another episode of From My Perspective. I'm your boy Dion coming to you live for another episode. Thank you guys again for joining us for this very special March Madness edition episode. Again, I'm your boy Dion. Go ahead, subscribe, hit that link in the bio for some merch. But you may get a chance to get some free merch, but we'll talk about that in a second. But let me I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Captain Hater himself. How you doing today, Q?
Man, what it do, what it is. You already know the best. It's your boy, Mr. Bell, aka say your name up on this pod. Might not put you to mile. What's up, Dion?
Hey, no, I'm doing good, but like I said, it's March Madness edition, but we have some very special guests with us. I'll let them introduce themselves. I'll start out with Ray. She's a friend of the pod. She knows where everything is. She knows where the bathroom is. She knows where the liquor is in the liquor cabinet. Ray, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing great. Are you excited to talk about some March Madness?
I'm so excited for it to come. I've been looking for it, but I am gonna be sad afterwards.
Yeah, me too. We are also joined by Miss Ashley. How you doing today, Ashley?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Doing great. You excited to talk about some March Madness basketball?
Yes, my favorite time of the year.
Yep. We're gonna start out with the ladies, the women's bracket. Before we dive into it deep, I want to ask you guys, was there anything in particular about the seating when it came out? Is something was one of these seatings that y'all didn't feel was right? Y'all thought somebody should have been lower, y'all thought somebody should have been higher, or there's somebody that didn't make it at all that should have been in there, or vice versa. I'll go ahead and start out with you. Was there something about the seating that you wasn't feeling?
Not in particular. I don't in the women's bracket. It. I feel like the women's bracket was set how it should have been set. I feel like everybody was seated in the right selection. I'm sure Kentucky. I don't like them, but I go ahead and give them some credit. I'm sure Kentucky feel like they should have been on the 4 line. But looking at the other fours, I don't see who you move off to put Kentucky higher. So that's why, from my perspective, I feel like the bracket was evenly distributed as far as seats.
Right. What about yourself?
Well, I honestly think it was seated right. I, me and Ashley watched it together, so it was kind of funny. Because when you forget about folks, right? So when they did the first couple of number ones, I was like, when they gonna do South Carolina? When they gonna do this person? But I forgot, UCLA is out there and Texas is out there. So South Carolina had to wait, and that's who I was waiting on to be seated, and they got the seat that I thought they should have gotten.
Yep. Mm. Ashley, any issues?
So, two things. The first thing that I found to be interesting in the fact that how they did the seating when it came down to UConn and UCLA, like they went into some really in-depth analysis, but it really came down to what it sounded like was basically the dynamics of how they play on the court, essentially, to seed them. So I thought that was interesting. I don't have a problem with it, but I thought that was interesting. And then two, I don't like the fact that South Carolina is like halfway across I mean, they gotta play in the West. They gotta go to the West Coast. They 3 hours behind. Like I just, I mean, that's what makes competition. Don't get me wrong, right? Because you gotta play across the country. But I don't like the fact that they across the country. That's what I'm gonna say about that. That's it.
Well, the reason why I wanted to bring up seating, especially for the women's bracket, seating is seeming like it's a lot more important because women's basketball, most women's sports, just in general, the talent gap is much wider than in the men's. So if you watched women's basketball, if you watch women's March Madness, it's not a lot of upsets. It's a lot of times it's chalk and going through like the upsets that has happened, there's only been one 16 seed that's ever beaten a one seed, and that is Harvard in 1998. No 15 seeds have beat a number two. No 14 seeds have beat a number three. Uh, there have been 7 13 seeds, and there has been um been a couple, been about it's been a couple 12 seeds, well, more than a couple, a bunch of 12 seeds to beat a five, and a decent amount of 11 seeds to beat a six. But for the most part, especially when we get to the championship game, most of the time it's a three seed or higher that's winning it. The lowest seed that has made it to the national championship game, give credit to the Louisville Cardinal, was a five seed back in 2013. But for the most part, it's chalk. So I'm assuming you guys, when you guys filled out y'all bracket, y'all kind of went more mostly chalk with it because I don't see too much anything past like a five seed doing any damage in this bracket.
In the first
Correct.
round, in the first round, I do have a double digit seed winning.
Okay.
Actually, I got two double digit seeds.
Go ahead, do tell. We might as well go ahead and get into it.
All right. Well, since we heard first, this one, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little homerish.
Yeah.
I got Murray State beat Maryland
Okay.
in region one. I have Murray State beat. Also, Sunday earlier in the day, I had just watched Murray State play basketball. They moved the basketball. They was beating their opponent by 20 points. But like Deion said, the talent gap is a little bit wider. But I do have faith Murray State is going to beat Maryland. Like I said, that's in region one. In region, where's the next one? Do-do-do-do-do-do. Region two. Yeah, region two. I got the Nebraska Richmond winner beating Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
I got Villanova beating Texas Tech.
Mm.
And then that's it. Well, I got in region three, I got Virginia Tech beating Oregon.
Yeah.
But that's a nine. That's an 8-9. So I don't really feel like that's an upset. They even.
I
So
feel, I mean, I agree with you with the. I also have the Murray State mostly for the homer thing, but the only other double digit seed that I have advancing is Tennessee over NC State. I think Tennessee is a better team than NC State personally from a little bit that I've watched. But as from my perspective, Ray or Ashley, do y'all have any double digits making it to the second round?
Let's see. I do have I have UVA, and which is a number 10.
okay.
And I have, I think, one more. Oh, I do have Villanova too, Quentin. Um, which is a number 10 as well.
Yeah.
I did not go with Mary State. But you know who I wouldn't mind seeing win in both brackets, but of course we're not talking about the men's. Miami, Ohio. I wouldn't mind seeing them win over West Virginia.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind it.
But I didn't pick them to
I
win.
wouldn't mind seeing James Madison beat the team in blue, but
Yeah,
just
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the only double digit that I picked was VCU, I mean UVA, excuse me, UVA, because I think they do have a squad, they really do. They could very well get bumped up to the next round.
All right. So, we just talked about the higher seeds. Let's go ahead and talk about not the talk about the lowest. Let's talk about the higher seeds. We got UConn, UCLA, Texas, and uh, who am I missing? UConn, UCLA, Texas,
South Carolina.
South Carolina. These teams have received a one seed again. Like I said earlier, usually a lot of times this chalk has been multiple times in the women's tournament history where all four one seeds have made it to the final four. Which of these number one seeds do you think is the most in danger? Because I mean, right now, obviously UConn, they got the best coach to lace them up. From my perspective, you got UCLA, who's been one of the hottest teams in women's basketball. Texas as well, and then South Carolina, probably from my perspective, coach number two in the women's game. Um, Don Staley and Gino Ariel, they're one and two, but I gotta give it to Gino as number one. But of these one seeds, is there anyone that you feel like is most in danger of not making it to the final four?
Who you asking?
You go
Anybody.
ahead, Ray.
Oh, um, honestly, the way Texas played South Carolina, in the SEC.
Mhm.
That's right, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
I was very impressed with Texas. So if it came down to them two, I'm wondering if Don Staley is gonna get her get back. So I'm wondering if Texas would take a fall.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Texas and South Carolina, they won't see each other to the championship
That's
game.
what I say. Yeah, they would make the
Oh,
championship.
they on the other side. Well,
Now,
my,
so the but to I'm gonna be honest. I had talked about Texas with Ashley. I don't have Texas going to the Final Four.
oh,
I actually don't have Texas going to the Sweet 16.
Ooh.
If There's the question, the number one that I feel like could lose early is Texas because of the simple fact I know UConn's UConn, right?
Mhm.
mhm.
You just go
Fact, fact.
UConn's UConn. We
Tex-
not even we it. It's really back. It used to be back in the day where it's UConn in the field or UConn and Tennessee in the field. You had these past couple of years of your South Carolinas and your LSU's coming up to that level, but UConn always was in that these teams or the field or UConn in the field. This tournament feels like a UConn or the field type of tournament.
Okay.
And that's not even knocking. In these other teams, it's some great teams, but UConn is UConn. I I got UCLA. I feel like is also a good team. I also feel like South Carolina. South Carolina could get gat, but I'm looking at their bracket and I don't trust nobody in their region to get them. I think that's my issue with South Carolina. If it was somebody else in South Carolina's region that I felt actually had opportunity to get them, don't get me wrong, I was a good team and TCU got some good players, but I ain't sold enough. So that's why it's Texas for me. If there's anyone number one seed that's not gonna make the Final Four, it's Texas.
Okay. I also don't have. Actually, I do have Texas not making it to the Final Four as well. I got them losing to Louisville, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I want to talk about UCLA because I watched the Louisville Duke game in the ACC championship game. And I
Mhm.
was very impressed with Duke and how they handled all that adversity because Louisville should have won that game about 3, 4 times. Just saying. But Duke and how they handled that adversity, I was very impressed. So I do have Duke beating UCLA in the Elite Eight to make it to the Final Four, and I have Louisville beating Texas in the Elite Eight to make it for a rematch. Hopefully, Louisville can get that get back against Duke in that Final Four. But so with
Oh,
that being
so they'll
said,
get on the
I do
line.
have UConn, South Carolina, Duke, and Louisville in my Final Four. Like I said, with the women's bracket, you should not go too much past 4 or 5 seed going to the Final Four. It just really never happens. But that's my Final Four. Not like UCLA and Texas are my two teams that I don't think is going to make it to the Final Four. It's dangerous not making. It's dangerous putting two teams out that early, but hey, it's March Madness. Anything can happen.
Yeah, no, that is true. I'm with you though with the Duke and the UCLA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the.
Yeah, I was a little shocked that Duke got a 3 seed, just a little bit, but I figured they would get a 2, but you can't be too much upset with a 3. But outside of that, like I said, there's not a lot of upset that's really possible. But you talked about UConn. You said that they are UConn in the field. Looking at their region, is there anybody in that region you think can knock them out before they get to that Final Four? Is there anybody even kind of scares you?
No, like not really. Like, and it sounds like I'm ragging on these other teams, but don't get me wrong. Like Notre Dame plays a great defense, but I got them losing to Vanderbilt because I feel like Vanderbilt is the better team, but I don't see Vanderbilt beating UConn. And then I don't think Notre Dame has if Notre Dame has the guards and the wings to play the defense on UConn, but they don't have the inside the post presence to stop. So I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody in their region. I think it's a region one. I don't see nobody in a region that could beat them.
All right, ladies, I'm gonna ask you two. Like, Q obviously thinks there's nobody that can hang with UConn. What about you guys? Are y'all with Q, or y'all think at least somebody can give UConn a run for their money in that in region number one?
I would like to see our state. Sorry, Ashley.
Mhm.
I would like to see our state give them a run for their money. I don't think they will. Um, I remember when we played them, Louisville played them, and I, UConn is a beast. I just don't, and he's an excellent coach. Like my goodness, him and Rick Pitino. I'm a Rick Pitino fan.
We
Yeah, I honestly, Iowa State might can hang with them for a little bit, but UConn just they run the board. They run the board in their defensive play. They run the board in their offensive play. I mean, they run the game. I don't see anybody doing it.
so y'all bring up Iowa State. I see what y'all see mean with Iowa State. They have probably women's basketball don't have the stars that they did a couple years ago. It just happened, Juju, she's hurt. One of the stars is does play for Iowa State, Audie Crooks. She is a force in the paint, and not too many people have the bodies or a player that can hang with her. I've seen UConn a little bit. You guys have seen UConn a lot more than me. I've seen Audie Cooks a good amount, especially some highlights. Does UConn have a player or players that can contain her? Because like the ladies think Iowa State maybe can give them a run for their money. If Iowa State is going to give them a run for their money, she's going to have a double double, a 20-20 type of game.
Yeah, if they're not going to be able to stop her in the paint. They're not on that. But what they are going to be able to do is pressure the ball, and they're going to score off of turnovers.
Okay.
UConn is. I mean she gonna score. I don't think they're gonna shut her down. She's a big girl and she moves well in the paint. She moves well. Like she physically can move with the ball very well. But I don't think the rest of her team can hang with UConn on a fast break. You know what I mean? From
Yep.
a being in shape, like UConn is in shape. They
Okay.
run
Mm-hmm.
and they're quick players. They're quick. That's just my, you know.
Yeah.
Gino is just Gino. Like I know what you're saying, Dion. Like
Yeah.
in women's basketball at this point right now, it's not too many surprises. Now, every now and then you get, but
Yeah.
UConn gonna run it. They gonna get to the Final Four, and if they don't, I mean that means that somebody played some extremely good defense and they stopped the transition play.
All right. Q, I see he has your mind on something.
UConn, they have the bodies on the inside though. That they it was it's kind of like back when Shaq was playing, right? You
Mhm.
wasn't gonna stop Shaq, but you had people that you had a bunch of bodies they could throw at Shaq. Like they got I think her name's Sarah Strong. I think it's her first name. I know her last name's Strong. I think her first name's Sarah Strong. She's cold, right? I don't think they're gonna have her play Crooks because to get her in foul trouble, but they have other forwards and centers that they can throw at her to mitigate the presence of her. You ain't gonna stop her, like Ashley said. She's a force. She's gonna put up her points, but you can wear her down because you're throwing so many people at her. You can double team her, whatever the case may be. So that's what I said. I don't see Iowa State. Iowa State got the player.
Yeah.
UConn got the team. And don't get wrong, they still got players. They got
All
Fuzz
right.
and Strong. They sell, right? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, it is UConn's gonna be
All
UConn.
right. All right, I gave my Final Four, but before I get you guys Final Four, we got to specifically talk about the Louisville Cardinals. We're all Louisville fans here. Um, I watched the ACC tournament. I believe Miss Randolph, Zach Randolph's daughter, she kind of emerged as probably the player for the Cardinals. I
Mm-hmm.
think if the Cardinals are going to go far, she has to play well. What do you guys think? Because you've been to a few games. Y'all, I watched a couple games. Well, Q, you've been more than a few games. You've been to a lot of games, watched a lot of games. The ladies, I know they watched a lot of games. How do y'all see Miss Randolph faring, or is there another player on the Louisville roster that you think can carry this team to a possible Final Four? Ashley, I'll let you go first. I see it. See, your eyes got big.
I mean, Randolph is absolutely gonna have to step up. She has the niche to carry the team, to be honest, but she's got to believe she can carry the team. She had a spark, and if she doesn't, we need one of our point guards to step up. Between the two of them, a point guard and herself, they can go far. I mean, you need a whole team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say you don't need all five players. You absolutely do. Everybody got to play their role. However, I think Randolph could really emerge as the leader. But she needs if she got a point guard, they can definitely go far. I mean, we got point guards. I'm just saying they got to put up points. They got to do the small things along the way
Gotcha.
to help her.
All
I
right.
mean, I'm thinking about like old school. You need your point guard and you need your power forward. You need them two to be working together.
Yeah, Shaq and Penny and Shaq and Kobe or Wade and Shaq. You need one of them. Miss Ray, same question. How you feel about Miss Randolph and any other Louisville player that needs to step up for them to make it to the Final Four?
I liked her when they played against Duke. Um, me and Quentin discussed. Me and Quentin discussed how she didn't rest the whole game.
Hmm.
She played the whole game. I don't, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, and Quentin will. Uh, I don't remember her sitting down unless it was a timeout or halftime, right?
Correct.
So I think that could affect her longevity if he plays her that long. So what do I need? I need somebody else in her position to be her backup, right? Uh, so I mean I'm impressed with her, but again, she can't do it all. And she played the whole game, y'all, for
Yeah.
Duke. And Barry. Now I like Barry. Barry is the reason why we lost to Duke the first game. Barry is the
He missed
reason
that
why we
free throw.
lost to Duke to step the tie. Well,
No,
I
no,
don't know.
no,
Now
no.
hold on, Ray. Now
The
hold on,
first,
Ray.
whoa, the
Barry,
first
time
game.
out. Barry,
let me
Barry,
back up. Let me
Barry
back
is the
back up.
spark, though. That chick
She's
is
the
the spark
spark.
off the bench, though, Ray. Now come on
She's the
now.
spark. She's the spark. But let me back up.
She
She's
missed the
not
free throw.
the She missed a free throw. She missed two free throws, right? In both games, right?
Okay, but the
What
second game is
but
not fault.
the second game, can I finish?
Go ahead.
The second game, I told y'all they will correct me if I'm wrong. The second game, it was those offensive rebounds that killed us.
Hmm.
Those offensive rebounds. And I'm gonna tell you, I like the coach. I like Walls. I don't feel like we need to get rid of him. But we went to the Notre Dame Louisville game, the second game in Louisville, senior night. And I don't know the bench names, but he has a girl on his bench, number 24. And I don't know if y'all watched this game, but she can come in and play just as good as number 11. And she broke the press for that Notre Dame game. So I'm giving you numbers. Y'all might know them.
Grace, she's from she says she's from Dansville, but I won't say she's from her family's from like Africa somewhere.
Okay. She plays really well, and I hope she stays with
Notre Dame.
Louisville. Um, but she played really well in that Notre Dame game and brought us back within like two. And then he benched her and brought out his starters. To me, with Jeff, sometimes he doesn't coach to win sometimes. I think he coaches for his starters. Like, dude, sometimes you got to switch up the game. And I said that when I was watching this Duke game, I was like, put Barry and Scott in there. He'll sit Scott and play Barry, or he'll play Barry and sit Scott. Put them both in there. What's your deal? But that's just my soapbox.
Okay. Well,
Dude, your turn.
okay. So now I just feel like I gotta talk to my sister for a minute real quick.
Oh
I don't
Lord.
I don't think Barry was the fault for the second game. Like me, you talked about, I think coaching was the fault for the second game because of the simple fact he did not rest Randolph. And then with Duke getting all of these offensive rebounds, he played, I'm not even 11. It's God, I ain't gonna disrespect that woman and mispronounce her name, but he kept her in even though she had sprained her ankle. She wasn't moving like she normally do. As a word, you got Hardy on the bench who jumps out the gym.
Yes, right.
We
That's
can't
right.
get we can't get an offensive rebound, but you ain't playing the woman who literally dunks. Like Dion said, I go to the games. I see her dunk. You know what I mean? I've seen her dunk multiple times. She don't do it in the game, but doing the layup lines, she be dunking all the time. But we can't get an offensive rebound. Go put her in because she's a little quick on the foot, and then she also can jump. So that's why I say it's not. I think the championship game loss. Yes, Barry did miss a free throw in that game as well, but I really think the loss was more so on coaching. That being said, y'all talked about Randolph. Randolph to me is an all around player. She does the rebound. She sets up the plays. She scores well. And then she you have seen later in the season, especially in the tournament, the ACC tournament, she has came to her own. But for my perspective, I think the person who's going to have to step up is Roberts. Taj Roberts is going to have to knock down shots. She is the Louisville is a Louisville's women's basketball team is a very balanced team, but Roberts is the one that can score. Barry and Scott can get you to the basket, but Roberts is a scorer. She can score on every level. I think for us to make it far in this tournament, Roberts is going to have to step up on her scoring, and then Randolph is going to continue to step up on the all around game, and then Ziegler. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm hope she's going to have to knock down shots when she get an open three because which she does a lot of the time, but she's going to get a bunch of open threes. She's going to have to ball out too. Of course, 11, but we know what she do.
Well, I'm hoping Louisville makes it far, but I gave you guys my final four. I said UConn, South Carolina, Duke, and Louisville. We're gonna go down the line. Q, give me your final four, and I got UConn winning it all too. By the way, just you can't come on, Gino. I'm not gonna go against Gino, but Q, give me your final four.
Okay, cool. I got UConn coming out. I think this is Region 1. Then it's Region 1. I got South Carolina coming out of Region 4. Region 2, I have Duke beating LSU, and then I had Duke also beat UCLA. So I had Duke in the Final Four.
All right.
Like I mentioned before, I do not have Texas going to the Final Four. I actually have them losing to UK. I thought Texas was. I got talked to Ashley at the before Selection Sunday happened. I was like, man, I thought Texas was going to be like a 2-loss team. I seen them play UK, and I don't like to give UK credit for nothing in this world. Nothing in this world. Matter of fact, I did a Mount Rushmore of teams or players or whatever that I hate the most, and Kentucky was 1, 2, 3, and 4. But
what about Duke?
Duke.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Once I actually spread it out, Duke was number 4. Number 2 was Shea.
Okay.
You know why. But
Yeah.
but I actually got UK beating Texas. I have Louisville beating Michigan, so I have Louisville versus UK in the Elite
Good
Eight.
day if it happens.
I got Louisville versus UK in the Elite Eight. Then I have Louisville winning that game, going up against Duke. I have Louisville getting a get back. I have UConn beating South Carolina on the other side. So I have UConn versus Louisville in the championship game. I got UConn.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I can't. I would love it. I don't think Jeff Walsh has ever beat Gino either. So yeah.
He has it. He has it, to my knowledge.
Yeah. Ashley, go ahead and
So
give me.
let me say this as my disclaimer. I will probably do another bracket, and Louisville will be in my Final Four. But Louisville is not in my Final Four on this bracket. Like I'm a fan, but when it really comes down to it, and Jeff has made it to the Final Four, but we have yet to sign, seal, and deliver. So I'm thinking true basketball stats as it stands right now. Of course, I got UConn and South Carolina. Let's just go on and say that. If they stay healthy and they do the things they're gonna do, they're gonna be in the Final Four. No doubts about it in my mind. I actually do have LSU and I got Texas. Believe it or not, the momentum is in Texas's is in their hands right now. Right. I get what you're saying, Q. We did have that conversation. They was supposed to come out swinging a lot harder than they were. But I actually have them in the Final Four. I do have Texas beating LSU, believe it or not. A lot of people who don't know, but he is a pretty good coach. Like he is a really good coach. You know what I'm saying? He can coach his team up. I have UConn in Texas, and I think UConn's gonna take it all. To be honest.
All right, are we gonna have a clean sweep of UConn, or are you gonna give us something different? Go ahead and give us your Final Four.
Of course, it's UConn and South Carolina. I don't think that's a big surprise for a lot of. It's the Region 2 and Region 3 that we're looking at, and like you or like someone, I don't know who. I do have Duke going to the Final Four. I do have Louisville going to the Final Four. Only I'm just a fan, and I do feel like Louisville is going to win the Final Four, right? It's if we go up against Duke. I think he's going to learn from his mistakes if we have to face Duke again.
Yeah, I don't think we'll lose a third time.
We play
that's
too
the
hard.
truth. I don't think we will either.
Yeah, we play them too hard. But I do have UConn winning the whole thing. So I got you.
Truthfully, like if there's going to be a shocker, it would be South Carolina to beat UConn. To be honest, because they can beat UConn. She's done it. Mm-hmm. But she got a different team. I think the exciting game is going to be UConn and South Carolina, as always is. So
don't disagree.
We'll see. If she has her players ready, she gonna be good to go. I just couldn't put Duke in there, y'all. I just couldn't do it. I know what y'all saying, and I know they've been balling. I just can't do it. I don't think they do have the momentum, but I don't think they have the longevity to see this all the way through. But hey, y'all might shock me, and I might have to come back and say y'all was right. But
I think it's the eye test. I've seen Duke more, not just against Louisville. I've seen Duke. Don't get me wrong, I don't watch the LSU too and I watch UCLA, but I've seen Duke more, so I'm more comfortable knowing. Well, I know more so what they do.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
And like I said, I don't never want to give that school up the road credit.
I didn't put Kentucky in there either.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do Kentucky or Duke, y'all. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I don't think Kentucky really has it like that, Q, for real. I don't.
No, I would tell you though, the basketball
they lost it. They was good early in the year. They lost it.
They did lose it, but I said at the beginning of the year, I said the one we normally win when it comes to men's basketball, women's basketball, football. U of L always wins the women's basketball. I said early, we ain't gonna win it this year. We gonna win the other ones, which we did, but we lost the UK women's because they brought in Brooks from Virginia. He coached at Virginia Tech. We talk about coaches. That meant coach. You know what I mean? So that's why I got UK, and I feel like once he get them in the tournament, they already beat Texas. UK beat Texas. He gonna look at them and be like, man, I already did this. Everybody talking about what Texas is. We already beat them, so we can go out here and beat them again. Mm-hmm. And then the U of L, I don't feel like, yes, me, Tasha, and Dion are fans, but realistically, U of L could get to the Final Four.
No. I believe they can. He's done it before, truthfully. And Waltz can coach for real. Like when you break down, he is like the master at, drawing up plays. When you really look at him coaching, he is the master at doing that.
Been in Louisville for
Um,
20 something years. You don't coach at one place for 20 something years without being a good coach.
Yeah, he done
yeah,
made national championship games, like I said. He done made Final Fours. He makes it basically to the Sweet 16 every year.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I hope he can just seal the deal. It would be nice for us to bring it home, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It would
I
be nice.
will say
We,
for me, I don't care about women's Final Four. I don't care about Louisville's women making to the Final Four. We've been there so many times. We've been the runners ups. We don't have a national championship. As good as we've been the last 20 some years, which we've probably been a consistent top 10 women's basketball program, we don't have a national championship. And
Correct.
don't and I look at Jeff Walls. Don't come to me with another Final Four appearance. I need a championship. I don't care about no Final Four appearances. It'll be nice. I'll celebrate it. I'll be excited. But if it ain't a national championship, I'm cool, dog. I'm
you,
sorry.
You
I,
gotta seal the deal.
I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why. I always look back at one of the years we went to the national championship. We won. We lost 2 games, 3 games. They all was UConn.
Yeah.
UConn's UConn. Like we gotta at some point we gotta sit back and realize, man, UConn is forever been UConn since Gino got up there. And he get you go to the women's recruiting, he get them. If he go get who he go to the grocery store and get who he want. It ain't a recruiting battle. He just say, hey, you want to come here, and they come.
Yeah,
It's not that easy for every other school. Don't get me wrong. South
yeah,
Carolina, Stanley is getting to that level too, where she get who she
Tatum.
want.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it ain't
My point to you,
Jeff got
out
to
of
work.
everything that you saying, right?
Jeff got to
I'm
work to
with
get here.
Dion on this one. Like I like Waltz. I'm a fan of Louisville. I want us to win the championship. Although I didn't put it in my bracket on this situation. I want us to, right? I'm gonna be singing his praises. But at the end of the day, you gotta outcoach and you gotta outplay UConn. And guess what? South Carolina has done it. So it's not like it can't be done, Q.
'Cause
Waltz just gotta do it.
it was to the
He
point, like
just gotta do it.
like you
That's all I'm
said,
saying.
like
Man, yo, she ain't been coaching as long as he has.
like you said, at one point it was just UConn and everybody else. At one
Right. I
point,
mean, Tennessee had their run, but
why was basically UConn and everybody else, we was like the only team that was even remotely there.
Yeah.
It was UConn, and we was like 5, 6 steps below them, and then everybody else was like right on our tail. South Carolina that came and passed us up. LSU that came and passed us up. Iowa that came and passed us up. They came back down. But
I was gonna say they came. They had
all
something.
these teams have came up, got to the UConn level, and we'll get to the Final Four, maybe national championship game. We can't cut down the nets. I just want to I'll be like I said, I'll be excited.
we
Women's
just got to deliver.
basketball and volleyball, those are the two sports. Making to the Final Four don't mean nothing to me. I want a national championship. Like
Okay.
I'm be excited. I celebrate, but dang, we've been to the Final Four too many times. We've been to the championship game too many times to be overly happy to make it there. We gotta win it.
All right.
Especially for the girls, especially the ACC tournament. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, we do need to win one. We do now that I agree. We gotta win these.
We gotta win. Like we make it to the championship like every year, and then we don't win the championship. Like what? He's won one since they've been in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one.
One.
That's
One.
yeah.
And
Like that's yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Am I saying national championships are easy to win? No, not with a UConn out there. But I am saying it can't be done because Don has done it. She did it in a few years, and she whooped up on him.
Yeah.
I think Jeff will get out coached.
Dang, right?
Yeah. I hope not.
Dang,
I hope not.
just pop the balloons, right? Like,
Yeah.
woo.
But everybody on this panel, we have UConn winning it all. Like I say, women's basketball is the talent gap is so much wider, and we all think UConn is just that much better this season. Thank you guys again for joining us for another episode of From Our Perspective. Go ahead and like, go ahead and subscribe. Leave in the comment section if y'all think it's UConn or y'all gonna take the field. So are you gonna take UConn or you're gonna take the field? Like, subscribe, again, leave a comment. Ashley and or Ray, would y'all have anything y'all would like to promote before we move on over to the next bracket.
We would like to
I
we would like to promote our Hold Please I Said What I Said podcast. Catch us on our podcast. We got some really interesting topics from movies, TV shows, books, all of the above. Again, check us out.
Check us out. Thank you, ladies, again for talking about the women's bracket. Q, go ahead and take us home unless you got something to hit on.
Nah, I ain't got nothing to hate on. Y'all already know the best. It's your boy, Mr. Bell, aka say your name up on the spot. Might not put you to mind. We'll catch y'all later.